another episode of Routes Through Pokemon Adventures. I'm Shaylock.
I'm Ruby.
And today we have with us...
Rosella.
Rosella. It's been a while since you've been on, hasn't it?
Yes.
Some of you have probably still heard her the last couple times, as Pink Hair made another appearance in the story with Violet. But this week, we really wanted Rosella here because we're going to deal with one of her favorite Pokemon throughout the anime and stuff. So last week we covered, I think, a whole 8 episodes of the anime, but no manga. And this week we will have 3 chapters of the manga and then 5 episodes of the anime, which will catch us up to where we are at in the video game. Azalea Town and the Bug Gym.
Then we can move on, right? To the next gym?
Yeah, then we will, so that means next week's episode we will be back on Gold and Silver and Crystal, heading to our next gym, finally exploring Ilex Forest. It'll be a very exciting time. So, we will be covering the chapters of the manga, Volume 8, 100 through 102, Into the Unknown, Teddy Ursa's Picnic, and Ursa Ring Major. Then for the anime, we will have Wired for Battle, Good Quill Hunting, A Shadow of a Drought, Going Apricorn, and Getting the Bugs Out. But before we launch in all of that, let us catch up on where we are at in life and other Pokemon Journey stuff going on. So, it's been a little bit since we recorded last. There was a lot going on in the beginning of the month, which is partly why we had to make sure we recorded ahead of time, because things like this would come up. We have Pokemon Go's given us a lot of stuff now. We have the the Power Spots, I think.
Which are super cool.
Yeah, so we have those, and we even have the 3 Johto Starters that have been showing up in them now. I got a perfect, like 100% Charmander, which was my first, besides the Wooloos and Squovits that were around before that was my first catch out of a Power Spot. It was my first Johto catch. So that was exciting. Took me a while to find a Bulbasaur spot. There was a lot of Charmander and Squirtle ones, but I've got probably more Bulbasaur now than I have anything else. I finished, I think, the To the Max quest, and maybe even the... Oh, and I've got as far as I can on the Galar one. The Professor Oak said... Or Professor Oak. Whatever the professor's name is. Needs more time before I can continue that adventure. And then, we were all very excited for the Ponyta Community Day.
Yes.
I got some shiny Galarian Ponyta.
I only got one.
I
I still got one, though.
I got,
I had a shiny Galarian Ponyta a long time ago that I had already evolved to Rapidash. It was just the one. But then during the Community Day, I was really hoping to find at least one of the regular Kanto Ponyta being shiny, but I wanted a lot more than that, especially on a Community Day, and I only got one. Well, I got like 7 shiny Galarian Ponyta.
I got 2 shiny Ponytas.
The Kanto ones?
Yes.
Yeah, and we traded some to get some better stats, because I think we had 2 zeros, and I think they became 2s, 2 stars after that, which was nice. And it was a little bit different of a Community Day. I didn't have the opportunity to actually travel around like I usually do. I was kind of just in one spot. But my wife and I were at a marriage retreat, and I took a little time to enjoy some Community Day fun, which was nice. And then, yeah, we made sure that you girls were able to do what you wanted to do while you were still home.
I even joined you guys in a raid.
That's true. We got you a remote raid pass. You could help us take out Groudon. Oh, hey, speaking of that, did you catch him?
Yes, I did.
Oh, go ahead.
It was really difficult, and I was really hoping I'd actually get him, and I did.
That's great. Yeah, your mom did too. I got a lot of great throws, mostly excellent throws, using golden raspberries, and did not catch him. It was very frustrating. I already have one from Giovanni from a while back, so I have a shadow one, but I wanted a better one.
I didn't have one at all.
Yeah. So I'm glad that those that didn't have one got one, but... And now, today, actually, as we're recording this, it is the beginning of the Psychic Spectacular for this year, which means that Hatena is coming to the game, which is really fun because in our watching of Pokemon Horizons, that is as far as we've gotten in the show, I think. The last episode we watched was a couple weeks ago, but it was the Hatena episode where Liko finally gets a new Pokemon.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Liko was the boy.
Oh. No, Roy's the boy.
Roy's the boy.
Yeah, I realized.
See, that's what it rhymes to help you remember.
Rhyming is physics.
Yeah, we've been reading. Well, I've been reading The Princess Bride to the kiddos lately too, and so a lot of rhyming with Fezzik. Also, while I was gone, or right before I left, we kept forgetting things, and we'd get partly down the road and come back and get something before we could get to the marriage retreat. But one of the times that happened, FedEx showed up with a package that belonged to me, so I was excited to bring that with me because it was another Elite Trainer box. So I have, yeah, it had a full art like Noctowl inside there. Yeah.
Like Knockdown.
Well, I really like Hoot Hoot. I don't actually know much about Noctowl yet. We haven't evolved them yet in the game, so.
Well, you now like Hoo Hoo even more because you finally realize he's got the clock eyes.
Yep.
That's why he's so high in our ratings.
Definitely. So Hoot Hoot, he has his eyebrows are like clock hands, and he has lines underneath his eyes that look like the numbers on the clock too, like with the spots where there aren't actual numbers.
That's what those are?
Yep.
Right?
Look at it.
What? No way.
Yeah. What's funny is like I never realized that either while we were reading through like Pokedex entries in Gold and Silver. There was even some mentions to keeping perfect time and stuff, and I even named one TikTok, but like it never clicked in my head that they look like a clock. And then we read the manga, and there was even some reference to them keeping time and stuff, and I still didn't catch it until we watched that anime episode where they're lost in the woods with the illusions and stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, they passed a statue of one. There was already one running with them, but it was when they passed the statue, that's when it clicked in my head.
I definitely think I was told this and I knew it before, but I also think I forgot.
I always knew it had weird shaped eyebrows.
Yeah, they're clock hands.
Yeah, I always knew it had a weird
It was
face.
like this.
And I don't know if you realize, Rosella, but they show up at least the last couple New Year's Eves during that time frame with like a special New Year's Eve hat. And I was always confused of why they chose a owl Pokemon for New Year's stuff. Like I understand like Pikachu because he's the mascot and everything, but like I never got why they had Hoot Hoot there. But it was because he's about time.
What?
Because
of the clock hands. And New Year's is all about the new year, new time.
Oh, I was thinking of Thanksgiving.
Yep, they got around Thanksgiving because of time.
See, you know, I would have actually had less of an issue with before knowing about the clock hand stuff for Hoot Hoot to show up during Thanksgiving because he has like the fall colors about him, you know?
And he's like a bird, and birds
Get eaten.
get dead.
Yeah, I was thinking like, wouldn't he be more perfect at the end of the year holiday?
Yep.
We were talking about that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, besides all of that, I think the only other thing is Sword and Shield. We hadn't updated in a while, partly because I was waiting for Rosella to be back. And in Sword and Shield, where are we at in Sword and Shield, Rosella?
I think you helped me catch Zacian and Zam.
Well, you're playing Sword, so after the big battle, after we dealt with Swordward and Shieldbird, we both got our Pokemon. You got Zacian, and I got Zamazenta. I actually don't know which one Sword and Shield is. I think Zacian is Sword.
Yeah, I think so.
But then what did we have to do after we caught them? Because the other one ran off because it was crazed or whatever.
Because it had too much power and then it was going crazy because it couldn't control it.
Right.
We went back to the place where went back to the place where we found the rusted sword and the rusted shield.
And what do we have to do there?
I'm pretty sure Hop caught it.
Yep. And then what?
Then we had to fight Hop, and I beat him because I had the Pokemon that was strong against Shield, but I had the Pokemon that was strong against Shield, so Daddy had the Pokemon that was weak against Sword, and so I was the only one that won.
Yeah, I need to level up or something because I don't know what happened, but like Sword was taking out most of my Pokemon with like one hit. It was very frustrating, including who I thought was going to be decent, which was Shield. So yeah, So Rosella's ahead of me in Sword and Shield now. She's technically beaten the game, like the extra quest or whatever now, and I have not yet. I still have to beat Hop, who I beat so easily, so often throughout this whole game, and now he just kicked my butt. So that's where we're at there. But yeah, we completed all that stuff except for like the extra areas that you get through purchasing the downloadable content.
With the creepy ghost pony.
That has the creepy ghost pony that you really want. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Spectrier, I think is what it's called.
It's
like a black horse
floating.
with kind of purpley hair.
It's a purple and like blackish one.
Oh, maybe it is a purple horse. I don't know. I don't remember. But it has a fusion with another Pokemon.
Like Slowbro?
So Slowbro isn't like, I mean, yeah. The lore says it's a shelter that attaches to a Slowpoke and becomes Slowbro, so technically that would be kind of a fusion. But like, a fusion is something that is introduced later in the games. I don't know much about it. I recently got some fusion Pokemon in Pokemon Go and was able to do that, which was interesting.
Wait, they're in Pokemon Go?
Not that Pokemon. Different Pokemon. That confuse. Yeah, the Necrozma confuse with Solgaleo or Luna something or another. The Moon and Sun type Pokemon.
Oh, Solrock and...
Nope, not that one. Different one.
Oh.
The one from Cosmog. Remember Cosmog, the weird colorful cloud?
No.
Okay, well, that thing can evolve two different directions. And Necrozma confuse with either one and become this other thing.
Cool.
Now, in Sword and Shield with Spectrier, there's a Pokemon that confused with Spectrier or like another horse so that it can become one of two different kind of rider Pokemon.
Yeah, icy horse or the ghost.
Oh, that's right. It was an icy one. That's right. So yeah, there's an ice and a like the dark shadowy ghosty thing. So
yeah, I want the ghosty one. It looks cool.
I want both, but I don't know anything about it beyond what I've said. So apparently, I don't know when fusion comes in. I'm guessing it might start in Sun and Moon, but I don't really know. Which is like a ways off.
Floating above like some horseshoes like all the time when it's walking.
That's awesome. I like ghost Pokemon.
Because I got a Pokemon card and I'm like, Daddy, which game is this in?
Yeah. Alright, but I think that covers everything. Is there anything else you guys can think of that have been interesting in life or Pokemon or whatever?
I know after the hot battles in Sword and Shield, I asked you to battle and you didn't want to because I had Sword and you had Shield. And I'm like, I won't use Sword or something. And then I was just being goofy, and I could have won, but he won.
Yeah, you were gonna win if you, if you weren't being goofy. I was getting my butt kicked.
It was fun.
She probably got a ton of XP after beating Hop or something.
Well, I don't remember. I think I chose a stupid Pokemon at one point too. Like I made some poor decisions, and yeah.
I think Cinderace kept like killing Pokemon.
That's quite possible. You did level up your Cinderace pretty hardcore.
Yep, I Cinderace. And now I can also have like a whole group of Corviknight.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Like my whole party's just Corv.
Oh.
Yeah, I was catching and leveling up my like a ton of Rookidee.
Yeah, since we're in a Galar Sword and Shield era, even in Pokemon Go now. Now that they brought the starters and they had the Galarian Ponyta Day and we get Hatena coming in, which I'm just guessing that's from Sword and Shield.
I think it is.
I remember it being featured a few different battles, so it would make sense. But I'm hoping now that we will get to see Rookidee in Pokemon Go soon.
So there means Corviknight?
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping
Wait,
for.
don't we already have Rookies?
Do we? In Pokemon Go?
Maybe not. There's Pokemon that look like a Rookidee, and I thought I caught
Tailo?
one earlier. I don't know. Maybe.
I want a shiny Rookidee and Go.
Yeah, there's no Rookidee. Yeah, I would want that too. Ooh, I did catch a couple of interesting shinies recently. Like just the yesterday or the day before, I got a Barboach.
What's that?
These are usually like blue and white.
Yeah, I think I know that.
So that was exciting. And I evolved my Ponyta, the Kanto Ponyta, that was shiny.
Hatena is from the 8th generation.
Which is Sword and Shield then. Oh, and then there on Spotlight Hour during the Dupiters, I was gonna be busy that night, but before we started what we were doing, I decided to click on a couple of the ones that were around. And normally I don't find shiny that easy, but the second one I clicked on was shiny. Oh, and I caught we did a Lucario raid not long ago, and I got a second shiny of those.
You got a shiny Lucario?
2 of them, because I had one before.
It's so cool.
And I got a shiny Pineco, which I evolved into Fortress already.
Oh, can I see it?
Yeah. And a shiny Squovit.
That's good fun.
Which is now a shiny Greedent.
Why is he just one color?
Yeah, I don't know. The Fortress was kind of disappointing. The Pineco being one color was fine, because Pineco is normally just like the one color.
Yeah. Isn't Pineco the one that looks like a Pineco?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense. Pineco, Pine.
Alright. So, and we'll actually get to see some Pineco action. We'll talk about that in the anime.
I've recently caught a shiny Wooloo.
Oh, yeah. I have clicked on every freaking Wooloo I saw, because that's what I wanted a shiny of. And then randomly a Patrat showed up, and I clicked on it, and it was shiny. And I'm like... And then, like, the first day, within the first hour, I think, you were playing, you clicked on your Wooloos and found a shiny one.
Yeah, probably about the first time.
I've clicked on every every Wooloo and every Ponyta. Like, just the normal Ponyta.
Yep.
But no shinies.
Yeah.
How'd you catch one?
I'm just special like that. That's why I'm the star.
You are very lucky a lot of times, that's for sure.
In Pokemon, I feel like
In the regular Pokemon games.
yeah, that's in Pokemon video games. But in Pokemon cards, I feel like I don't get. I get a good card, but
Oh yeah, speaking of Pokemon cards, when there was the crazy storm and Daddy was taking shelter in a game store, he got Pokemon cards and like a cool deck, like just a normal deck of cards, and it was my night to sleep in their room because we do that like almost every Sunday, and I got one of the Pokemon cards and I opened like a full art cool EX and it was cool.
What was it?
I forgot.
Just a cool full art EX.
It's like a dog kind of thing.
wait, you bought Pokemon cards when you were in the game store?
Yeah. Yeah, there was
That's
there was
funny.
tornado warnings and stuff, and I was gonna just drive straight home. I didn't even know about them at first, and like it looked like bad clouds and stuff, but I figured I could get home. But by the time I left the town where I work, it was
Bad.
very bad, and everybody was driving super slow with their flashers on, and I'm like, this is not fun or wise. So I drove back into town and needed to take shelter somewhere, and I'm like, you know what? The game store's open. I'll just hang out there.
Didn't we later get to see like a picture of the tornado and it was like mixed with rain and it was like...
Well, yeah, it was.
It looked really big because the rain was covered.
Yep.
It was so
Yeah, the
cool.
tornado itself was like an F-0. Like, it really didn't do a whole lot. I don't think it even really damaged anybody's homes or anything, which is great.
Yeah.
I saw a couple trees pulled up and kind of pulled at a couple of tombstones, I think, in a cemetery. But yeah, it wasn't bad.
It just
But the
looked
storm
really
was bad,
scary from the
and-
picture.
If it started throwing bad debris around while I'm trying to drive home, there would be nowhere to go, really. So I'm like, I'll wait it
Even
out.
like a tornado itself can be dangerous enough. So if you drive into it because you won't see it because of the rain, that'd be bad.
Yep.
You could have literally crossed the road and you wouldn't have known, and you could have driven.
True. So, yeah, that was fun and exciting. But everybody ended up safe.
Yeah, we all went down to the basement.
And then I came back up to my cold supper that I just finished making for myself. Because I finished making supper for everyone else first.
Yeah, so that's where we are at. And now I think it is time to dive into our chapters. Yes?
Yes!
Oh, okay.
All right. We'll start with Manga Volume 8, Chapter 100, Into the Unknown. Unknown spelled like the Pokemon Unknown, just in case anybody was curious.
To the unknown.
I think a couple episodes ago you couldn't stop singing Into the Woods, or Lost in the Woods, I mean, and now you're singing Into the Unknown.
All from Frozen 2.
Alright, so Gold is out camping and has Expo heating up food. Smart use. Gold asks for more, and it gets out of control, showing Expo still needs to work on his finesse. Then Gold looks at his watch/Pokegear to see the map, and of course they use the actual video game map, which is always fun. And it also shows where they are. It turns out they are in the ruins of Alf. Although I don't know if he knows it's the ruins of Alf, but they're in ruins. And then Gold sees a girl and thinks she's cute. So he rushes over and starts flirting.
I think he does know it's the Ruins of Alf because the little map has been the right corner. Ruins of Alf.
Oh, well, never mind then. So he starts flirting and thinks she's touring the ruins alone. After Gold introduces himself, the person, Bugsy, does as well. And he corrects Gold by asking if he knows he's a guy, and Gold lies that he did. Bugsy also corrects the tourist misconception and says he is part of an exploration group and the rest of his friends went missing, and all contact was lost. So he's looking for them, and he has a Metapod hanging out with him as well.
What's a Metapod?
The evolution of Caterpie, the pre-evolution of Butterfree.
Oh! So Butterfree and Chrysalis.
Basically. So yeah, he has a Metapod hanging out with him. Clearly, in the game, this is the Azalea Town gym leader, Bugsy. But he might not be the gym leader yet, just like Faulkner wasn't.
Yeah.
Who's fuck?
The first gym leader in Johto.
Flying type.
Did you watch the episode Fighting Fire with Flyer?
Oh yeah, where he tries to fight it with Charizard?
Yeah. So I'm definitely interested to see where this goes. Especially since Gold isn't badge hunting in this particular adventure, it seems. Because he didn't get the first badge, and we'll see where this goes. Gold mentions looking for his missing Pokemon, and Bugsy thinks maybe it got kidnapped by the same people who took his friends. Abo hears something in the ruins, and so Gold has Expo blast a hole, which Bugsy tries to stop from happening. The ruins have been there for 1,500 years. Then, inside, they find symbols on the wall, and Bugsy is astonished and says that there hasn't been proof of the symbol Pokemon living in those ruins. Until now. As Bugsy goes on about his excitement, Gold brings him back to reality about looking for his friends. Then a rope comes out of nowhere and binds up Gold, and it is Team Rocket, with an Elekid and a Girafarig.
Girafarig's cute.
You know, it finally gets an evolution in Scarlet and Violet.
It's funny.
Wait, it only shows up in that.
The evolution? Yeah.
The evolution looks like the butt ate it. It does.
I'll take your word for it. Alright.
I don't remember where I saw the evolution. I just know it looks like the butt ate it.
They thank Gold for blasting a hole since they thought the only way into the secret chamber was through solving a puzzle. Which it is in the game, remember?
Yeah.
Wait, what game?
Gold and Silver and Crystal. The Ruins of Alpha are in the video game. And to get in... Well, so you can actually go down into the same chambers that you go through when you use the puzzle, but nothing shows up. When you do the puzzle correctly, it automatically drops you down there, and that's when you can finally start catching Unknown down there. Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, only some of them. I think you have to go through other areas of the Ruins of Alpha that we couldn't reach yet to get more of the Unknown letters to show up.
Okay.
So now they can collect the symbol Pokemon themselves. Team Rocket can. So Gold just gives up, right? He's like claiming he's giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's obviously...
He's always tricking people, right? Or trying to. And so then he has Abo pull out a Pokeball out of his backpack, and he puts Gold's sunglasses or goggles or whatever you want to call them on Gold. Like, this is all part of Gold's plan. Because the Pokemon in the Pokeball is released, and it is Sunbow the Sunkern. Gold has Sunbow use Flash and blind everyone, which doesn't blind Gold because he's wearing his sunglasses.
But it also blinds Bugsy.
Which is fine, because Gold's got things under control. He unties Bugsy, but when he does, the symbols on the wall start moving and jumping down, and the Pokedex has nothing to say except Unknown. Spelled like the Pokemon. Gold realizes they were all wrong, and that the symbols on the walls weren't about the symbol Pokemon. They are the symbol Pokemon! Gold and Bugsy bug out, and when Team Rocket recovers, they are pleased to have information, and there is a shot of Spinarak, and I have to assume it belongs to one of the 3 Team Rocket guys that showed up, which would explain what wrapped up Gold and Bugsy originally. So it wasn't rope that wrapped them up, it was Spinarak web.
Spinarak's smiling.
Yeah,
Oh, on its butt area or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I looked at that when I...
Then they hear Bugsy's friends trapped behind a wall, but it's no use, and they are surrounded by Spinarak webs, and Gold flashes back to getting tied up, so it was Team Rocket Spinarak, so they confirm it for us. The Team Rocket says there is no escape, but when they arrive, it's all smoky, because of smoke screen, and the Unknown get caught in the webs instead. Team Rocket wonders where the kids went, and then they're fried by the Unknown. Gold and Bugsy escape with Bugsy's friends, and Gold apologizes for disturbing the Unknown's nap. Then Gold heads off and we get a glimpse of the trapped Team Rocket trying to solve the puzzle to get out. They get a contact from a mysterious figure behind a curtain or something, and the person indicates frustration with Team Rocket's failure, wondering if it was a mistake to gather them back together. So somebody's orchestrating the return of Team Rocket. The Grunt says it wasn't a mistake, and they are honored to have this individual as their new boss. So we can presume that this is not Giovanni.
Oh.
Dun dun dun! Did you assume Giovanni?
Maybe.
I mean, that's a legitimate assumption, but they said new boss, so... If it is Giovanni, he's pretending not to be Giovanni, or keeping it disguised, or whatever. So then we move on to chapter 101. Teddy Ursa's Picnic!
Teddy Ursa! I love Teddy Ursa. Yeah, none are so cool and mysterious, but I love Teddy Ursa. He's one more Teddy Ursa.
I have a shiny Teddy Ursa, and I don't want to evolve it until I get a...
I have multiple shiny Teddy Ursa, I think. And I have...
Give one to
And
me.
I have a shiny Ursa Ring and a shiny Ursa Luna.
I have one
Wait.
shiny Teddy Ursa
What?
that you gave to me.
Ursa Luna?
Yeah, the big giant bear with the moon.
That's Ursa Ray.
No, like he's much bigger. I'll just show you.
Teddy Ursa, Ursa Ring, Ursa Luna.
Wait. Ursa Ray evolves into that?
He didn't originally. That came later. And actually, to evolve them in the Pokemon Go, it has to be during a full moon, like during an actual full moon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to evolve Teddy Ursa during a full moon?
No, Teddy Ursa you can
Okay.
evolve whenever. Teddy Ursa you can just evolve for 50 candy to Ursa Ring.
I
But
need...
Ursa Ring, you need 100 candy, and it needs to be a full moon to evolve them. Alright, so, Gold makes it to Route 32, and the town map shows up on his watch again. Gold is looking for the fishing hole that Bugsy pointed him toward, and it's that branch on the route where the docks are with the fishermen, remember? So after we finish the ruins and Violet City and stuff in the game, Ruby, we go down past that guy that gives us the item for grass Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go down further and there's that grass, but then it branches off. We could go to the right and go down and it's the docks with all the fishermen. Or we can go follow the left path and just keep going through some grass.
Yes, I've constantly gone back and
Yes,
forth
we
on
have.
those docks.
Yes, we have. So yeah, he's at those docks because that's Route 32. So he's asking around about his Poliwag that went missing. And they suspect it got snatched up by the Pokemon Snatcher. This person, or whatever it is apparently too quick and takes everything they catch as soon as they catch it, and nobody has ever gotten a good look. Then the fisherman who's explaining it all loses his octillery to the thief.
Well, first he, holds it up barely on his hands, just kind of holds it out, and he's like, that's why I hang on tight to mine. And then the Pokemon comes and snatches it. I'm like, dude! You are an idiot!
Yeah, he literally says, you gotta be alert. That's why I'm hanging on to my... Huh?
That's funny.
I was reading it. I was like, you are an idiot!
So Gold catches sight and fires a Pokeball at the thing in the water. Pokedex identifies it as a Granbull, which is the evolution of Snubble. And apparently its jaw was stuck open and it was stealing Pokemon to get attention. So why so fast? Why is he being so fast about it?
He's a Pokemon. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Whatever. So then, before they take Granbull to the Pokemon Center to get fixed up, they want all the Pokemon it stole back. And in the midst of them all is Polibo, the Poliwag.
Yeah, but the Pokeball hitting his jaw, made it so that it can close. But they're still gonna take him to the Poké Center so that he can make sure.
Yeah. The river had washed it all the way down there. Gold and Polibo are very happy to be reunited. Then the fisherman offers his number so they can get in touch again, just like in the game. Does he have a name in the book?
I don't think so.
Okay. Trying to remember what his name is in the game. I get phone calls from him a lot. Of course, Gold is in a hurry, as usual, and rushes off. And then the fisherman thinks to himself that this kid handles Pokeballs almost as good as... Yellow does! A reference to Yellow. That's exciting.
That is rude.
And how do they know Yellow? Why do they know Yellow? What's going on?
I was so confused, why'd he say yellow?
We all love
my
Yellow.
favorite
Yeah,
character.
yellow was so cool.
Other
It's a
people
girl!
don't know.
So is Green.
The green's-
I like Green.
I like the characters.
She's
yes.
clever.
Yeah, I like green.
Yeah, but I like how me and Jubilee were thinking that it was that Yellow was a girl, but like it wasn't a girl, and
Then it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yellow's
so I kissed
pretty
her.
good character. Yeah, Yellow's a pretty good
Why
character.
did you kiss her?
Because
Yeah, I thought
she
it was-
thought he was a really great person.
Well, I was like, it's a girl, and you kept telling me, no, it's definitely a boy.
I didn't say that. I did not say it definitely was a boy, because I'm also smart about what I say. I'm like, it says he.
You were very misleading to try to make sure I. If you had just shut your mouth, I probably would have been more sure on this.
So, Ruby's first crush was Yellow.
We broke up.
Yeah, he thinks he, yeah. You broke up. So the fisherman does say he probably should mention to Yellow. And so it makes me really wonder who this fisherman guy is.
Yeah.
So then, Polybo is nervous, so Gold makes introductions to Sunbow and Expo, and he tells the other to keep an eye on Polybo since he's still little. Then we cut to youngster Joey at Elm's research lab, and he's happy Polybo has been found. Then Gold learns the transfer system is down all over Johto, and so we will have to keep he will have to keep Polybo with him for a while, which is why Joey had to manually deliver Pokemon in the beginning, because the Pokemon transfer system is down.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
And they mentioned a little while back too that Bill's supposed to be working on it when he was concerned about gym leader stuff and Team Rocket and everything. They're like, hey, get that stuff back up and running, man. And I think this probably relates to the game too, because there's that extra transfer stuff that we can do that we can't do yet.
I just realized.
Because I think it's what allows us to transfer between red and blue and gold and silver. You remember that? How there's that, like, we have the regular battling stuff, we have the Pokemon trading, but then there's like another bigger thing farther down.
Yes, I do.
And I think that's the part, like, I think that's basically the correlation to the story of the Pokemon transfer being down, quote unquote.
Well, as soon as they get fixed, I'm gonna give myself my really strong Pokemon, and I'm gonna just plow through the game being so strong.
Well, that doesn't, because they won't listen to you. So yeah, he says he wishes they'd get the system back up, and suddenly a man pops out of the bushes and says he agrees, because if it was running, he wouldn't have had to track Gold all the way there to give him the egg!
The Pokemon egg!
Which is what we got in Violet City in the game.
Oh, before he hands him the egg, he like, as he's popping out of the bushes, he's like, "Are you calling Professor Elm? Can you put him out?" And he's like, and then Gold's like, "Who the heck are you?" Because it's just a crazy person.
Yeah, it's Elm's assistant. Elm explains that they think it's a Pokemon egg, as they've never actually seen a Pokemon hatch before, just newly born Pokemon. And we get a shot of a Pikachu with the silhouette of something behind it. It's Pichu!
Yay!
Gold is flabbergasted it has been handed to him since Elm wants to learn about it, and he explains that he can't get it to hatch, so they think it needs to be around active Pokemon. So keep it with Gold's Pokemon on the journey, which is just how they hatch in the game too. They have to be in your party and you have to walk around with them. Oh, and he wants this favor done in exchange for Gold keeping Expo to look for Totodile. So now Gold has Abo, Sunbow, Expo, Polybo, and an egg.
Why does he always put bow at the end?
I don't think it should be end in egg. I think it should be Egbo.
I don't know why.
Eggo.
I don't know what the bow is for. I don't know why he does it. I'm very curious at what it is in Japanese and if that might help explain it. But either way, it shows his ownership, I guess.
Wait, why would a parent name their children just like a color?
Because it's fun.
I'm certainly glad you just didn't go, I should name my first daughter Green.
Hey, how about this? If we had a child named Midori, would that sound kind of cool?
Dory
Yeah.
is a color in Japanese.
Which is just green. And these are from Japan.
But in Japan, it would just sound like green.
Yeah, in Japan, they actually did name them red and blue and green. So when they translated it here, they should have changed the characters' names to the Japanese colors.
That would be way cooler.
Also, in the Japanese book, it's actually red and green that are the main characters, and blue is the girl that's the thief.
Weird.
Because in Japan, red and green are what came out. Blue was a different one that they made later, and we called ours red and blue when they came over here.
Okay.
It's all weird. Anyway, he only has one slot left, though, after with the egg in there. So they better get that transfer storage system running. Then we cut to a guy working at a bench, hammering away. He asks what his customer is going to do with the Pokeball he's making. So it seems that this guy must be Kurt, the Pokeball maker, which we meet in Azalea Town.
Mm-hmm.
And his customer is Silver.
Dun, dun, dun.
And there's a girl there, just like in the game.
Yep.
Silver says he's only interested in really powerful Pokemon. Then Kurt gives Silver the Pokeball he made of the apricot Silver brought, and it is the Heavy Ball. Gold is exhausted, hungry, and broke. But then he finds free fruit in a tree and tries to eat it. He spits it out, and a little girl laughs at him, thinking he's funny, and states that it is an apricorn fruit, and she's never seen anyone try to eat one before. The girl feeds him and his Pokemon rice balls. That's rice balls, not popcorn balls.
Wait, what?
Or jelly donuts.
Jelly-filled donuts.
Yeesh. Anyway.
Wait, how did Ash catch a jelly-filled donut in a Pokeball?
It wasn't actually a jelly-filled donut. It was a rice ball.
So just say rice ball.
How did he catch a rice ball in a Pokeball?
He's just that good. Anyway. She explains that her grandpa...
The fact that he was missing the Pokemon to catch the donut, well, the rice ball, makes it seem like he's not all that good.
Anyway, the little girl explains that her grandpa makes Pokeballs out of the fruit, like all kinds. Like there's different kinds of apricots, and he makes all kinds of Pokeballs. She wanted a friend ball, but he wouldn't make one for her because they are only for trainers who can really use them. Gold makes fun of Pokeballs made from fruit, and Kurt shows up, yells at him, and says in the past, people all around wanted Pokeballs from his family. The mass-produced factory Pokeballs are only useful for beginners, like Gold. So Gold says he could master a Pokeball from that guy, and if he's wrong, he'll be Kurt's assistant for the rest of his life. So Kurt has him pick a ball to make, and it turns out to be a friend ball. The girl goes with Gold and asks why he chose that one, and it was for her. And so he wants to know what Pokemon she wants, and it is a Teddy Ursa up in the mountains. She's not supposed to go up there. It's dangerous. And they do almost fall at one point when they do go up there. Then they find a Teddy Ursa, and Gold gets ready to throw the ball, but then Ursaring shows up and scares them back a bit. Gold tries to get into position and runs into someone.
Wait, at first when Ursaring shows up, it looks like he's smiling.
Oh, yeah?
Like this.
I'm gonna kill you!
And then when he smacks it, he's like,
I don't like you. I'm definitely gonna kill you now.
So anyway, Gold tries to get in position and runs into someone. It's Silver!
Yeah, gets mad at him because he's blocking his catch.
Yep. Gold is annoyed that Silver got a Pokeball for free after thinking Silver stole it. Then Gold decides he's going to go for the Ursa ring that Silver is after, and Silver claims he's poaching. But Gold says the wild Pokemon are free game. Gold is all over the place, almost gets hit by Ursa ring, saves the girl from getting hurt, and is then smacked by a Teddy Ursa, and he twists his ankle. Settle down, Gold.
That's how he's...
Take a moment for crying out loud.
That's how he twists his ankle, because the Teddy Ursa just went...
Yeah, but if you would just, stop being so crazy... So ADHD. Alright, so then we are on chapter 102, Ursaring Major. The Ursaring is coming, and Gold tells the little girl to run, but then Sneasel, which belongs to Silver, swipes by and slashes, freezing Ursaring's paws. But then Ursaring starts melting the ice with Fire Punch.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool. Gold wonders if Silver was protecting the girl. Meanwhile, Gold is going to deal with Teddy Ursa, but the ball bounces off Teddy Ursa twice.
How does it bounce off?
Because it's not weak enough to catch. And Gold says he knew Kurt made terrible Pokeballs, but Silver tells Gold not to blame others for his problems. Good going, Silver. Then Silver explains there is skill to using a Pokeball that's subtle, and he gets ready to take Ursaring. But then Abo bumps into Silver, causing him to drop the ball. Gold assures Silver it was an accident in panic. Then all three are at the edge of a cliff with Ursaring and Teddy Ursa coming at them. The girl cries that Grandpa had told her it was too dangerous, and now they're all going to die because of her. But Gold goes serious and tells her it is not the time to give up, and that he is going to catch Teddy Ursa and bring her back home safe. So Gold humbles himself as he pets his twisted ankle and asks for Silver's help. He wants to know the trick, and Silver explains that every Pokemon has a certain energy point, and if you hit that, then the ball reveals its true power. When he's explaining it, it seems to suggest Pikachu's is near the tip of its tail. That's their energy.
Well, maybe it's like a lightning rod, where it just like sticks up and collects them.
Yeah. He explains that for Ursaring, it is the center of the circle, and for Teddy Ursa, it is the crescent on its head.
Which is shaped like a moon.
Right. Gold takes his pool cue and gets ready, and Silver says he doesn't have his ball now, so who is Gold going to aim for? And Gold suggests neither. Then he hits the friend ball, and it bounces off all the rocks, hits the heavy ball, and both come back to their owners, and they catch them. Then they both throw their balls, Gold at Teddy Ursa, and Silver at Ursaring. Gold says they're even now. Silver tells Gold he is warning him for the last time to stay out of his way, and then he leaps off. Gold gives the girl Teddy Ursa, who seems friendly toward the girl because of the friend ball, and then they head off the mountain. Meanwhile, there is a pile of Slowpoke missing their tails by the Slowpoke Well. Team Rocket is pleased with themselves for getting all these tails they can sell, and then Silver shows up with Ursaring and grins at Team Rocket when they ask who he is.
Why are they taking Slowpoke's tails?
To sell. They're a delicacy. People eat them.
What?
But Slowpoke regrow them, it's okay. Then we cut to Gold and the girl coming down the mountain in the dark, and she's sure she's going to be in trouble for being out late. Then Grandpa is not home, so they go find him at the well, where we see Team Rocket all tied up, sleeping Slowpoke, and a pile of Slowpoke tails. Gramps gets mad at the girl for going up the mountain, but calms down to make sure the girl is going to take good care of her new Pokemon. Gold is wondering if Gramps took out Team Rocket, but he says they were like that when he got there. Then Bugsy shows up, and he has a Kakuna and a Metapod, and he wonders if Gold took on Team Rocket. He was there following up reports of Team Rocket messing around Azalea Town. Gold, of course, didn't do it, and they all wonder who, as we get a close-up shot of the well with claw marks in the side that seem like they could have been left by an Ursaring.
I mean, they do have like 3 claws.
Mm-hmm. They think the well must be dry because of the poor Slowpoke getting their tails cut. Then someone mentions a legend about a Slowpoke's yawn calling forth water, and so Gold battles a Slowpoke because the best way he knows how to get a Slowpoke to yawn is to wear it out, because it yawns to heal. And sure enough, water returns to the well. Then, as Gold leaves, he knows that the claw marks came from an Ursaring, and that must mean Silver took them out. So Gold wonders if Silver knew about this, and that was why he wanted the Ursaring. And if that's true, he knew Team Rocket's movements before Bugsy, and so now Gold isn't really interested in catching Silver. He just wants to know what his plan is, because he apparently has one, and Gold wants to know who this guy is! Thought he was a criminal, but now...
Is he a criminal? Is he not? Well, he's not the greatest person in the world for stealing Totodile, so...
But maybe there's actually a good reason.
So why didn't he go in there and ask? I'm sure it'll all be good.
Maybe. Who knows? But that's it for the chapters today, so that'll be continued later. Now we move on to the anime. Alright, so we are on episode 142, or 24 of season 3. Wired for Battle, or Batoru Shio Ze Hasamu Tai Herakurasu. Let's battle. Hassam versus Heracross. Alright, so, once again, the gang is wandering through woods, but Team Rocket is spying and are again considering getting ahead of them and digging a pit, like they always do. But before they can, they are approached by some creepy-voiced dude who is asking if they're looking for a Pokemon battle. They are all for it, and then something hops and blurs through the trees, and Team Rocket screams. Ash and Co. heard it, and then we see Team Rocket and their Pokemon all beat up. Turns out the trainer used a Scizor.
Isn't that the red Pokemon that evolved from...
Scyther?
Scyther.
Yes.
Jesse has a good history with Scythers.
What?
The hair cutting in the Orange Islands. Did you see the one where she got her hair all cut up?
I don't know.
It's funny. Alright. Ash and Co. hear the Scizor hopping around, and it gets ready to battle Pikachu. Then the trainer shows up, and Scizor backs off. Misty gets very upset at the trainer for letting the Scizor run around loose, and she gets in his face, and then babysitting Brock takes a new meaning as Brock drags her away from her lecturing fit. I thought that was great, and we're counting it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did you ask me if we should count it or not?
Yes, I did.
It definitely counts. It totally counts.
So then, the guy, who is named Muramasa, lets us know his Scizor is named Masamune. And I thought that was interesting, because I think both are actually ancient sword makers from Japan, and Masamune is the name of a sword that shows up in a lot of Final Fantasy games and Chrono Trigger as well. In fact, in Masamune, there's actually two characters named Masa and Mune that turn into one big creature that you have to fight. So I love that he has a nickname for his Scizor, for one, and I do like the nickname of Masamune. Muramasa has been looking for a trainer just like Ash and his Pikachu, and he takes them to his elite Pokemon training ground, which looks like an old school Japanese training area, it looks very similar to the place that Kenshin hangs out in that anime. Remember that one? Rurouni Kenshin?
Yes.
With the X-shaped scar and the reverse blade?
Yeah.
Okay. But, the place he ends up where they train people and stuff, it looks just like that setup, right?
Oh, yeah.
Muramasa was a very impressive trainer in his day, and Masamune was also known as the Crimson Streak. Then Shingo shows up with his laptop saying it used to be cool, the Crimson Streak did, so he doesn't think it is anymore. Shingo has all the info on trainers, including Ash, over the last 5 years. He brags about all this, and this is what he does. He doesn't battle anymore. He just uses his computer to see who would win things. Mm-hmm. But because he has all that information on trainers, Team Rocket wants to download all that info so they can beat all the trainers. So Shingo won't battle Ash because his computer says Ash will lose, and he can't learn anything else from actually battling. Ash plans to find a way to get Shingo into a real Pokemon match, which Muramasa wants. He's disappointed in Shingo's. And Shingo's in the anime, it mentions that Shingo's was his best student or something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But apparently, I was looking it up, and in the Japanese version, Shingo is actually his son.
Well, then he should just listen to him, no doubt.
Let's see.
I just realized Gardevoir has very skinny legs.
Let's see. So Ash plans to find a way to get Shingo into a real Pokemon match. Ash drags Shingo away from the laptop, and so Team Rocket plugs into it and starts downloading. Apparently, Jessie thinks downloading means pulling the cord to grab the computer itself. Because she is apparently not very literate in technology.
No.
It was hilarious. Because they were so close, but then she's the one screwing up the plan.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it always Meowth or Ash?
James?
No, Ash.
What about Ash?
He keeps screwing up their plan.
Oh,
James
I mean he stops them. Yeah, what? I get confused because I was talking about them screwing up their own plans kind of thing. So Ash can't really screw up their own plans because he's not planning with them. So unless you want to buy into my conspiracy theory that he's working with the Team Rocket.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so often they're supposed to be captured or whatever. There was an episode that really highlighted it, and it was the Spinnerack episode. And I don't know if you remember that one, but Team Rocket dressed themselves as cat burglars called the Black Arachnid 2.
Oh, and then they kept using Payday. But...
Yes. And they steal all the stuff from, they steal the special trophy and stuff from this one guy's house, and they're going to float off in the balloon.
Yeah.
And Ash's solution is to hit them away, which still means they still have all the stuff. Fortunately, the webbing from Spinnerack catches them. But when that's all dealt with, he still sends Charizard in there to blast them off, instead of actually capture them, which is what Jenny wants to do, is arrest them. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, that act causes all the stuff to fall out, so they don't get all the stuff. But, it seems there's many times where they're supposed to be arrested, and Ash ends up just blasting them away. Mm-hmm. So that they can fight again another day.
So it can
And I don't know if it's because he is in league with them, or he's purposely making sure they get away so they can cause problems, so he can beat them again, because he gets all the glory for beating them then. I don't know. That's my theory, anyway.
Both would make sense.
So, back to the
The
episode.
last option is he's just an utter idiot.
Well, yes, that which is the most likely, since they never can see through the disguises either. Almost never, anyway.
Well,
he fakes not being able to see through the disguises, and he
Oh,
distracts
there you
the
go.
other two.
There you
Like,
go.
oh, look at that, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at there's people over here. Now look at this.
Alright, so back to the episode. Meowth is dragged along with the computer, and then Scizor shows up and cuts the cord. Ash and Shingo show up while Team Rocket battles Scizor again for the computer, which Shingo picks up. Jesse and James find out they aren't in the kid's database, and so they're very annoyed about that and insulted. They insult his database, and so Shingo jumps into a battle with his Scizor, which is named Blade. And it's faster and has more endurance than the teacher's Scizor. That's why he said the teachers used to be cool, probably. Scizor easily takes out Team Rocket as he analyzes things on his laptop and sends Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! Ash teaches Shingo that battling is important for their relationship with Pokemon. And Ash and Shingo finally get to battle, and it is Heracross vs. Shingo, or Scizor. Shingo is still using the laptop to battle and thinks he knows everything, but Heracross surprises Scizor and Shingo. As the battle continues, Shingo is having difficulties watching the battle and the laptop at the same time, and it isn't looking good for Scizor. Heracross wins, and Shingo learns his lesson in the heat of battle. Then we see a really battered Team Rocket limping away down the road, and they give us a "we're off again" moment. And who's that Pokemon this episode is? Cyndaquil!
The reason Rosella is on.
Yep. So, our tallies this week, or this episode, are babysitting Brock, because Brock drags Misty away when she gets into the Scizor trainer's face, Muramasa.
I couldn't wait for this episode. I was so excited.
This episode?
Well, for this
for our
specific-
recording?
Well, yeah. For this specific babysitting Brock one.
Yeah, that's great. Interesting intro, we have...
Prepare for trouble like you've never seen.
This is real life, kid. This ain't on your screen. And we're off again. So they did blast off again, but when we catch up to them, they say, looks like Team Rocket's limping off again.
Which is funny.
It is funny. Yeah, I don't think it dings that time because they're just walking.
It always dings!
We know that's not true.
Oh,
I always make it ding.
my little brother loves to do that.
Yep.
He's so cute, too.
Alright, and then we move on to Season 3, Episode 25, Good Quill Hunting, or Hinorashi, Getto Daze, or Hinorashi, I got it! So Cyndaquil must be Hinorashi.
And
And I have just a little feeling that they catch Cyndaquil.
Somebody does. So, they are in a thick, dark woods and lost again, according to the narrator.
They're lost in the woods.
They think the map doesn't work, and then they meet a kid who's looking for wild Cyndaquil. Which gets Ash looking for one. He's like, well, that sounds great. The other kid tells Ash to stay away from them.
Another brat.
oh yeah, the jerk.
Yep.
Another brat. I hate the brats.
Ooh, that was high.
It's because I hate them.
Ash. More than, yeah, good. You should. Alright. Ash wanders off on his own looking for Cyndaquil, because a kid can't tell him what to do. And Team Rocket spies on Brock and Misty, who are looking for Ash. We find Team Rocket have been doing jobs to save up some money for their new secret weapon. Then Brock and Misty hear Team Rocket give us an interesting intro from somewhere in the woods.
Lost in the woods. Prepare for trouble.
Hand over the goods, or we'll make it double. Then they show up inside some giant super Meowth robot, and we have another busted bot.
We all know it's gonna be busted.
Misty tells them Ash isn't there, and so Team Rocket is like, well, never mind, and go looking for Ash and their robots. I thought that was hilarious. Alright, Team Rocket's robot is not affected by Pikachu, shocking.
Well, actually, it's not shocking because they don't get shocked because it doesn't work.
And because we also knew that it would happen again. And then Ash is being chased down by the mech. The I-Beam has a funny ice cream you scream rhyme to introduce it. The robot slips and falls. Then Ash finds a ton of caves in a large rock, and there is a Cyndaquil in one. And then I'm thinking it was in here that we got another interesting intro, actually, when they reveal themselves from the hatch. So we actually have 2 interesting intros this episode. So then we get...
You won't believe your eyes when we open the hatch.
You're in for a surprise, 'cause you've met your match.
No, they're not really in for any surprise.
Right?
They're gonna be as shocked as your machine was.
So anyway, Ash finds a ton of caves in a large rock, and there is a Cyndaquil in one. It seems sleepy. Then the other kid shows up and sees what Ash is up to, so he throws out his Sand Slash and uses Sand Attack to knock Ash down. And then the other guy heads up after the Cyndaquil. Ash goes back to climbing. Then the Meowth robot shows back up. Ash enters a cave and sees Cyndaquil run off, and as Ash chases, the Sand Slash trips him up and the other kid keeps being a jerk. As Ash wanders the cave, he finds a large bouncy ball chasing him down. The other kid has Cyndaquil cornered and attacks Cyndaquil with Sand Slash, but Ash runs by and rescues Cyndaquil, and the ball runs over the other kid. There's a lot of funny antics here with the 3 different groups, basically.
Yeah.
But now Ash, Pikachu, and Cyndaquil are at the mercy of Team Rocket. The weapon they get Ash with is a Double Trouble Bubblegum.
So is that a catching catchphrase?
I believe that is a catching catchphrase, because they're using the Double Trouble thing, but I also think it's a play off the Double Bubble Gum.
Double bubble bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Double Bubble Gum, yeah.
I love double bubble bubble.
So I think it's extra funny.
Mm-hmm.
Ash tells Cyndaquil to flee for itself, and then Ash will be okay. But Cyndaquil doesn't quite leave, and Team Rocket is going to capture it. Only when it does its massive punch, the whole bot is fried by Cyndaquil, and it starts to short out. Then Ash needs to rescue Cyndaquil from the blast, and so Pikachu uses Friendly Fire to free them at Ash's suggestion. So I like how they start using, like in the Illusion one with the Hoot too, it was used to help, figure things out. There's a lot of times where Ash is getting electrified, but on purpose.
He's just preparing himself now. He's always getting electrified, so he's like, I'm strong, it doesn't matter, I don't get hurt anymore.
And he uses it for good now. He takes the Pikachu away from the kids so they don't get electrocuted. He tries to stop Casey from getting electrocuted. It doesn't quite work. They electrocute every fake Ash to hit the real one so they know where the real Ash is. And now he's like, hey, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who's doing all this?
Ash and Pikachu. He gets electrified all the time by Pikachu.
Yeah.
But now he's doing it more on purpose a lot.
Huh.
To save other people or to, get them out of a jam or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Fine.
Then Ash tosses a Pokeball to get Cyndaquil, and the robot explodes, sending Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! The Pokeball is found, and Ash releases Cyndaquil. Ash accidentally caught it because he was just trying to rescue Cyndaquil. He wasn't meaning to catch it. He was just trying to get Cyndaquil out of there.
Mm-hmm.
The kid shows up and wants to catch the Cyndaquil, but Ash already got it.
Hee.
Ash tells the kid to get walking, and Cyndaquil mistakes Ash's command for himself.
So he starts walking real sad. It's so sad.
Yep. Then the kid wants to battle Ash for control of the Cyndaquil, which Misty and Brock totally think is stupid.
It is!
It is. Ash gets called chicken, and so decides to battle the Sand Slash with Cyndaquil, which is also stupid, because ground is good against fire.
Yep.
When Ash tries to have Cyndaquil do something, he turns out to be a distracted Pokemon, since he's sleeping. Then Cyndaquil just keeps dodging Sand Slash attacks easily. Eventually Sand Slash is too tired. But then Sand Slash gets going again and throws sand in its face. And then Cyndaquil gets hit when it can't use Flamethrower. Sand Slash goes for another final hit and gets stuck in a tree. And then Cyndaquil drops from the tree and finishes Sand Slash off. The kid goes to steal the Cyndaquil with a net and gets Flamethrowered. So Ash tries to pick up Cyndaquil and burns himself. Is this more friendly fire?
Yes.
And who's that Pokemon? It's Slowking! Which I don't think shows up in the next episode. It's just giving us something we've seen before.
I just realized what we forgot to do last.
Oh! We forgot to do the ranking!
Yep!
Alright, we'll rank both of these.
The what?
Ranking.
What's ranking?
I'll tell you in a bit. First, Tally. Interesting intro. We actually got 2 of them. Then Busted Bot, the Meowthinator Impersonator, I think is what it was called. Mm-hmm. Catching catchphrases, the Double Trouble Bubblegum. Friendly Fire, 2 times. Pikachu zaps Ash to destroy the gum they're trapped in. And Cyndaquil is on fire, and Ash tries to pick him up and burns himself. Gotta catch 'em all. 1. Ash catches Cyndaquil, his second of the starters from Johto. And distracted Pokemon. Cyndaquil is sleeping. Alright, now we're going to rank the episodes to see where they fit in the season and which ones we like better. So our current episode rankings are... Number 23 is Roll On Pokemon. Number 22 is About with Sprout, which had the Bellsprout Tower. Did you see that one? Okay. 21 is For Crying Out Loud. That was the Crying Meryl episode. Number 20 is The Superhero Secret, which had Gligar. And Gligar, man. Flower Power, which was the Blossom episode. Do you remember the Blossoms?
What are Blossom?
They're the little hula-looking flowers. And there's 2 of them, and they're doing like a cool little trick.
And
dancing.
they're like a performance?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one is 19. 18 is the Little Bighorn, which involved a limping Stantler.
Okay. And I kept making illusions of a whole stampede.
Yes. 17 is Foul Weather Friends, which was with a bunch of Hoppip and an Oddish that wanted to be a Hoppip. 16 is The Whistle Stop, which had the Ledyba that listened to a whistle. Number 15 is Don't Touch That Dial, which was the first episode of the season where they had to rescue the Totodile from Team Rocket. Number 14 is Grin to Win, which involved Sunflora in a contest, and they made Meowth look like a Sunflora at one point. Number 13 is Snubble Snobbery, which is where we meet Snubble for the first time. Well, this particular Snubble for the first time.
What's Snubble Snub?
There's a rich woman has a Snubble, wants to marry another Snubble, but the Snubble doesn't want to marry the other Snubble.
The rich woman
and he keeps liking to bite on...
She keeps liking to bite on Mal's
tail. Yeah. That's what I meant.
Then number 12 is Tanks a Lot, which has the Sentret in it, and Team Rocket has a giant tank that looks like an Arbok. But basically, Sentret and Togepi get inside of it and start running amok with the tank. 11 is Chikorita's Big Upset. That is where Chikorita gets jealous of Pikachu and is mad at Ash and runs off on its own and teams up with some fighting
Oh, and it's
Pokemon.
where he gets Chikorita?
No, he already had Chikorita at this point. Number 10 is Fighting Flyer with Fire, which was the Flying Gym one. Number 9 is Charizard's Burning Ambitions, which is where Charizard gets left in the Charisific Valley, so Ash no longer has Charizard.
Oh, yeah.
Number 8 is Once in a Blue Moon, which has all the Quagsire taking all the round things, including the GS Ball.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one.
Number 7 is Mild and Woolly. That has to do with the Mareep, the electric sheep, and the little girl that wants to battle with them, but her mother's like, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
The electric sheep.
Number 6 is Ignorance is Blissey, where we learn that Blissey and Jessie were friends when Blissey was a Chansey in nursing school.
And Jessie was like trying to do that, and she fell asleep there.
Yep. Number 5 is the Chikorita Rescue. That is the one where Ash gets Chikorita, because he battles Chikorita, and then Chikorita runs off, and it's all cold.
Snowy.
Then number 4 is Illusion Confusion. That's the Hoot Hoot episode, where they get lost in the woods and the illusions and everything. Number 3 is Spinnerack Attack. That's the one with Team Rocket being the cat burglars and everything.
Okay.
Number 2 is the Double Trouble Header, which is the one where they meet the girl that likes baseball who has a Chikorita.
Oh, yep.
And number 1 is a Sappy Ending, which is the one where they get Heracross and the Pinsir crossing over and all that stuff. Alright, so, with all that said, our first episode was Wired for Battle with the Scizor. Where do we think that fits? Do you want to go first, or should I go first, or should Rosella go first?
I don't think Rosella should go first, because she should probably go first on the...
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you want to take this one, or should I make a suggestion?
Alright, so the Scizor one. That was a pretty decent episode. I liked, the progress the kid made and everything. That was good. And then the nickname Pokemon. And the names were just astounding cool. I think probably above Don't Touch That Dial somewhere. I don't know if it's, way above, but I think above Snubble Snobbery. Maybe, see, I can get in a good realm, but... when it comes to narrowing it down, I don't know.
Yeah, I really liked the concept of them naming them after swords, it being like a samurai training ground. Shingo wasn't particularly, super annoying. He had the problem, and then he resolved the problem, so he grew from it, which was really good.
Yeah, I really liked how he
wasn't
was
just...
I cannot do this anymore.
He was so wrong, and it was annoying that he was so... obstinate about it, but then he's like, oh.
He wasn't just annoying.
He wasn't kind of Ruby.
So, I definitely feel like it definitely could fit somewhere in the fighting flyer with fire range with the cool action and plot.
Yeah.
But is it better or worse than Charizard's Burning Ambitions? Which is where we lose Charizard.
I don't like losing.
Alright, is it better or worse than Once in a Blue Moon, the Quagsire round?
Blue Moon was better.
Okay.
I love the Quagsire.
So maybe we should put it between Once in a Blue Moon and Charizard's Burning Ambitions?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wired for Battle is our new number 9. Alright, and then the Cyndaquil episode. Good Quill Hunting.
That was a really good episode, especially since I really like Cyndaquil, but the jerk, I didn't like him.
Yeah, the jerk is a pure jerk, unlike Shingo was, right? Like, he doesn't learn anything and he's just annoying.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, the fact that Team Rocket had to make 2 intros, that they chase Ash, while Ash is chasing Cyndaquil and dealing with Jerkface, who's also chasing Cyndaquil, and like crossing over and stuff, like those antics were very, very amusing.
Yeah.
Cyndaquil is so just darn cute.
And Cyndaquil is cute, but also has already a fun little quirk of like not being able to do flamethrower right away. It needs to like rest and sleep and stuff.
Yeah, that's
So like
good.
introducing this fun character was good too. So like that puts it higher, but then like the jerk kind of brings it down a little bit too.
Yeah. And I like that he accidentally caught Cyndaquil.
Yeah,
Well, not accidentally.
but mostly just to rescue him, right?
Yeah.
He purposely caught him, but like didn't catch him. Like he
did the one thing he knew he could do to get Cyndaquil out of there.
And if Cyndaquil wanted to be free, I'm sure Ash would have been like, okay,
Yeah.
Sure.
And as we could see, Cyndaquil was sad to leave.
And it was also
Yeah,
funny,
that was
like,
hilarious.
Kept walking.
The
and
misunderstanding.
Cyndaquil's like,
Yeah.
okay.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, that was so sad. And then he's like, "What? I can be with you still."
He's like, wait, what? You want me to fight now? Okay. I'll be your friend again.
Alright, so, with all that said, I'm going to guess it's kind of higher, so we're going to start here. Was it better or worse than Wired for Battle, which was the other episode we just ranked?
So the one that
With the scissor.
where he was on the.
Yeah. Was it better or worse than that episode?
I feel like it's worse
Okay.
because like the jerk in that one actually learned something. As for this one,
Okay.
he was just a jerk.
Is it better or worse than Charizard's Burning Ambitions, where we lose Charizard? And Team Rocket helps Charizard stay awake and get attention.
I really liked that one because like they were working together to keep Charizard awake all night.
Yeah. So do you like it better than the Cyndaquil one?
I don't know.
Well, here, let me put this out here. Is it better or worse than the gym battle with the flying gym leader?
I think it was better.
Okay, so then yeah. So it has to be either better or worse than Charizard's Burning Ambitions. We have a very narrowed area. Do you have anything to weigh in on, Ruby?
I like the Cyndaquil one better.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, time for the 3-episode arc that involves Azalea Town. Or as it looks like it might be, Hiwata Town. Alright.
Hiwata Town?
A Shadow of a Drought, or Hiwata Town, Yadon no Ido, or Hiwata Town, Yadon's Well. Guess what Yadon probably is?
What?
Slowpoke, because it's Slowpoke's well.
Oh.
Alright, so, Ash and Co. are walking through a very rocky-looking desert area, and I was excited because it wasn't a forest.
Now they're not lost in the woods.
The sun is burning and has apparently dried up plants. Misty decides to cool everyone off with Staryu, and instantly she and Brock are in swimming attire. Like, just out of nowhere, they're suddenly wearing their swimming clothes.
Which makes me think, where'd they change? Did they just say, look away, please?
But maybe.
Quick change.
Then Ash tries to have Squirtle help out, and he water guns Ash right into a rock with some friendly fire. Which is funny that it's friendly fire and it was water. Haha. Then we see Team Rocket exhausted as they wander the desert. Meowth drinks all the water they had. They are about to beat up Meowth, but they found a Slowpoke Well! It has a Slowpoke statue and has a pump attached. Meowth pumps it for the others, and they await the drink and are covered in sand, as the well turns out to be dry.
And so it pumps out sand.
Yep. So they use rods to find water, and Jesse and James dig to find the water and get exhausted. Then Meowth uses a remote to bring up a Super Diglett bot, which will be a busted bot, I am sure.
There's so many busted bots.
There really is. They use it to dig into the ground and try to find water, but end up in a cave. They find water in the cave and drink a bunch, but then they see a lot of red eyes glowing in the cave. But they're just Slowpoke. Then they find a sign that welcomes them to Slowpoke Well, and it mentions that the Slowpoke can yawn to make it rain and fill the well again. So Team Rocket is going to get the Slowpoke to get them to yawn and make it rain for towns so they can get rich. However, they're having trouble because the Slowpoke aren't all that slow. Then the gang finds the river has run dry. Ash and them find Azalea Town, and Ash wants to get to the gym, but Misty wants Ash to deliver the GS ball first, because that is where they're supposed to take it, is to somebody in Azalea Town, named Kurt.
Yep.
Then they find the drought means the gym is closed, so Ash agrees to deliver the ball. Because what else is he going to do?
Yep.
As they walk through town, they find Slowpoke on signs and, draped over signs and laying all over town. They're just, everywhere.
Yeah.
And then Ash accidentally steps on a Slowpoke tail.
And it doesn't even feel hurt. It's just oh, you're not hurt by that?
At least not at first.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while for the pain to travel to the slow brain of the Slowpoke. They do things so slowly.
And so then it is oh, now I'm hurt. That hurt.
Yep.
It's so funny. I just found it hilarious.
So some people find out that Ash hurt a Slowpoke, and so the whole town practically shows up to deal with the evil Ash. They're gonna burn him at a stake or something, I don't know. So there's someone dressed in a Slowpoke costume who sees all that happened, and he lingers behind when the crowd runs off. And then the Slowpoke guy has Ash and co jump in the bushes and put on Slowpoke costumes as well. They all sit by a fountain, and the town doesn't realize they aren't real Slowpoke. The guy explains that Slowpoke are treated like gold because there was a drought like they're having now, years ago, and then a Slowpoke yawned, and it rained a ton. The guy explains that he wears the costume not to frighten the Slowpoke when he goes, but we don't learn where he goes, but later we're going to see him going into the well. So that's what he was referring to, but he didn't get to finish that statement.
Mm-hmm.
When he does go to the well, inside he finds Team Rocket using their Super Diglett to chase Slowpoke and try to capture them. And they end up going after him, because, of course, he's a Slowpoke. And when he tries to run, he hurts his back, which was just like Kurt in the video game. He goes in into the Slowpoke Well to deal with Team Rocket, who are trying to cut off the tails, and he hurts his back because he falls.
And as soon as we saw him in the costume, I'm like, that is Kurt. I just know it.
Yeah, they haven't told us that it's Kurt yet, but, we knew.
It was obvious.
Then Ash and Co. are looking for Kurt, not for the guy in the Slowpoke costume, because they don't know that's Kurt. And they find Kurt's place, but his granddaughter, she's in the anime too, just like in the manga and the game.
I like the granddaughter.
Yeah. She explains that he won't be back until later, and that he is at the Slowpoke Well. So Ash and Co. head to the cave at the Slowpoke Well to look for Kurt. And then, of course, they realize that he's the one in the Slowpoke costume. Then Team Rocket gives us an interesting intro.
We're inside, so prepare for trouble.
We're mean and snide, so make it double. And then they capture some Slowpoke after their motto. Kurt tries to stop them, but his back hurts some more. So Ash and Pikachu head into battle. Pikachu can't use Thunderbolt because of the wetness in the cave. So Ash brings out Heracross.
I love Heracross.
So the Super Diglett ends up slipping around, I forget how, and they hit Heracross with a weapon, and then the Super Diglett digs down, and they get away. The Slowpoke start crawling for the outdoors. They climb up onto their overlook rock, and they start to yawn one by one. Storm clouds suddenly roll in, and rain pours down. So it must be true. They are rainmakers. Or maybe, another theory could be, the upcoming rain makes them tired, and they want to go stand in it. Because rain makes me tired, and I yawn a lot when it starts to rain, and it's not my yawning that's bringing the rain.
And you don't want to necessarily stand in the rain, but you go out and watch it.
Oh, I do like to stand in the rain sometimes. Water floods through the cave and sends Team Rocket out and crashing into the ground in their Super Diglett, and then Ash and Pikachu show up, and Thunder Attack explodes the bot, and Team Rocket is blasting off again! Ding! All the Slowpoke are happy with the water, and a rainbow appears above them. Water flows through the river, and the fountains are running. Now they all know Ash did hurt the Slowpoke by accident. Then they finally learn that they have been hanging out with Kurt this whole time. So that's when they realize he's actually Kurt.
Wait. if the Slowpoke don't yawn and bring the rain, then how did, in the manga, Gold made a Slowpoke yawn, and then the well was filled with water?
So, again, in the manga, it probably, because they were basing it off what the Pokedex and the people in town say in the game and everything, and then so in the manga, they're like, yep, definitely Slowpoke does it. So, he made it yawn and then rain. But in this, and because the game is the game, you don't really get a whole lot of stuff. Either one of those, that could just be an urban legend because somebody saw them yawning while it was raining. But maybe they yawn because they get tired because it's about to rain.
Because why didn't they make it rain before?
Right? But I think in the manga, you could pretty much definitely say that the Slowpoke does make it rain.
Yeah.
Whereas there's reason for doubt in the other version.
Well, I don't know. Everything is so convenient and like random water stones and leaf stones appearing.
That's very true, actually.
That it could have just been like, oh look, it started to rain as soon as the Slowpoke yawned. How could
Okay, so it could have been that in the manga, but there's more leaning towards the Slowpoke actually doing it. Whereas the other ones are more ambiguous, so you could go either way.
That's fair.
But yeah, they finally learned that they were actually hanging out with Kurt this whole time. He wonders why they were looking for him, and that is the end of the episode. And who is that Pokemon? Is Pineco. Tally, Friendly Fire, 1. Squirtle, Water Guns Ash into a Rock. Busted Bot. We have the Super Diglett. And interesting intro, which we already quoted for you. Alright, time to rank this episode.
Oh, you kind of like the whole Slowpoke episode. Yeah.
I suppose it's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Certainly not like my favorite.
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely bringing it down towards at least Don't Touch That Dial, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking somewhere.
I might have liked it better than the Whistle Stop. I might have even liked it better than Don't Touch That Dial. I don't know. But the Sunflora was great, especially because of Snubbull later. So, maybe between Grin to Win and Don't Touch That Dial?
Which one's Grin to Win?
The Sunflora one.
And it's above Grin to Win?
Yeah, I would put it above... I would put this episode below Grin to Win.
Yeah, I meant below Grin to Win. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Alright, so then we move on to Going Apricorn. Have you ever heard of the phrase going ape?
Nope.
Well, that's what that's based off of.
What does going ape mean?
Kind of
Means
just
you're
going very aggressive and crazy.
going back to the trees, people.
No. Anyway, this is episode 27 of season 3, Going Apricorn, or Kunugidama to Bonguri no Mi, Urayama no Tatakai, or Kunugidama and the Bonguri Fruit. Backyard Battle! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I would think they would have more with such a long title, but they kept it to 3. Impressive.
Alright. So Ash and Co. are in Azalea Town still, and they got water going, so they should be able to go to the gym, but they have met up with Kurt, who they are supposed to deliver the GS ball to. So they eat with Kurt and his granddaughter at their home. Ash hands over the GS ball. They call Oak while they're there, and Kurt needs some time to look into it. Then, when Muck tackles Oak, we see Tracy feeding Pokemon in the background. Oak explains that Kurt can make Pokeballs out of apricorns, and Ash now wants one. Kurt hands over some of his apricorn Pokeballs, and it has a bolt on top, and it is made of white apricorn. Sorry, when I say bolt, it makes it sound like it has like a screw or something on the top of it. It's like a lightning bolt.
Oh, okay.
And it is called a fastball. Then the granddaughter explains there are various kinds of apricorns and apricorn Pokeballs. So Ash wants them all. And so Kurt says he'll make them if he goes and gets more apricorns. And Team Rocket is spying on the whole situation, and they are going to get apricorn balls and sell them. Brock wants the love balls to maybe capture the heart of Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny. Then Misty grabs his ear in a babysitting Brock moment to get him to snap out of it. So when they go looking, in the trees they find not only apricorns, but pinecos, and Brock tries to catch one, and they fall and explode in his face.
I love the pinecos. I don't know why I love the pinecos.
Ash goes for some more apricorns, but they are thwarted by Beedrill. Then they are going to get more apricorns, but then they fall into a pit. Then Team Rocket gives an interesting intro in their motto.
You should watch where you're going. It'll prepare you for trouble.
If you go around not knowing, you'll be making it double. So yeah, it was fun that they keep finding problems with the trees, and then this time they just fall into a pit, and it was because Team Rocket dug it. Meowth lassos Pikachu, and they use the glass case with light bulb again, a favorite of theirs. Then Team Rocket has a vacuum cleaner to suck up all the apricorns, which will hurt the trees, according to the granddaughter. Bulbasaur is unleashed and starts pulling everyone out with Vine Whip. Then Team Rocket falls into a hole, and it is really deep. Then Diglett show up, and it is determined they dug the hole that Team Rocket fell into. So then we see them going through a lot of tunnels and end up popping out of a cave and falling into some trees. Ash runs into more Pineco, and Brock tries to decide which to catch. But then the wind blows them out of the tree, and Brock saves them. Turns out that it was Team Rocket using a bicycle-powered giant fan. Okay, Team Rocket. Brock continues rescuing Pineco. They use Pikachu's Zap to try to stop the fan, but it just converts the electricity into energy to increase the fan's power.
I think since Team Rocket's always stealing stuff from Ash, and it's most likely that the bicycles are going to get destroyed, Ash should steal one of those bicycles.
And give it to Misty?
And give it to Misty.
I like it. Then a Pineco fights the wind and goes up to Team Rocket. Team Rocket sends out their Pokemon, and we have a distracted Pokemon in Victory Bell as he eats James. Then Pineco heads back up to self-destruct. Brock throws a fastball and saves it from Arbok, who crashes into Team Rocket instead. And now, Brock has a Pineco!
Yay!
So then we have a Pokemon battle, and soon after, Team Rocket is blasting off again! Ding! Ding. Afterward, Brock says that he and his Pineco will be friends, and the Pineco self-destructs in his face with some friendly fire. It wasn't friendly fire earlier because he hadn't caught him yet.
Yeah. I think he only self-destructs when he's happy. So, yeah.
They bring their apricorns and allow Kurt to work on some Pokeballs for them. Also, Kurt has no idea about the GS ball so far, and he needs to figure out how to get through the sophisticated lock. So they leave the ball with Kurt, and now Ash is ready to win some badges. And Kurt mentions that the gym is open again now, and so they will be back for their apricorn balls later.
And I'm like, they're going to forget him. They're just going to forget him.
And we get, for our Who's That Pokemon? Lugia! Which was in the movie, and will not be in the next episode. So, we have, for our tally, babysitting Brock. Brock gets his ears pulled when he thinks he'll use love balls to capture the love of Jenny or Joy. We have the interesting intro, which we read for you. Distracted Pokemon, Victory Bell eats James. Gotta catch 'em all, Brock catches Pineco, which I think is the only Pokemon Brock has caught since, No, he didn't catch Vulpix. Vulpix was given to him. And that was even a long time ago.
So that doesn't count?
Right, he didn't I mean, it would count for a gotta catch 'em all, but he didn't catch Vulpix. The only Pokemon he caught was a Zubat.
Wait, he didn't catch.
And that was back in Mount Moon, which is really early in the show. That's like episode 6 or something.
That is hilarious.
And then he got a Vulpix much later in that season. And then then he was gone during Orange Islands, I guess. But there's still a lot of season after Vulpix. Then there's the Orange Islands, and now we have him back, and now he's caught another Pokemon. But I mean, how many has Misty caught?
She tried to catch a Meryl.
She caught Poliwag in the Orange Islands.
She caught a Psyduck.
That's right. She caught Psyduck, of course. Who's lovely.
Who's lovely.
All right. So, time to rank the episode.
Wait, did we say the...
and there's friendly fire because Pineco blows up in Brock's face after he caught it.
Yeah.
Whereas he blew up before too, but he had caught him yet.
It's my turn to rate that episode, correct?
Correct.
I really like Brock catching the Pineco and the little girl, and Kurt making Pokeballs has always been cool. What else happened? Team Rocket showed up. Somewhere maybe a little higher, a little lower than Don't Touch That Dial. Somewhere around there, I think. You guys have opinions?
Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine episode. Not super strong necessarily, but I enjoyed it. There was nothing that really dragged it down, per se. And the Pineco stuff was great. So yeah, maybe right underneath a Shadow of a Drought?
Yeah, I can see it there.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that.
Or maybe right above it?
Maybe right above it.
Might have been better than a Shadow of a Drought. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do above it.
Yeah.
So then, Well, this is perfect, because then Rosella can mark this one, too, since it features her Pokemon again.
Wait, which Pokemon is it?
Cyndaquil! Alright, so, our last anime episode for the week is Season 3, Episode 28. Getting the Bugs Out. Hiwara Jimu, Mori no Batoru Firudo. Or, Hiwara Jim, Forest Battlefield.
Misty's gonna love this one.
Oh, yes. She loves her bugs. Oh! Something I didn't even think of when we were watching it. But you know, because I always forget that they're a bug Pokemon. But Pineco are bugs.
They are?
Yeah. I always think grass, right? But they're not. They're a bug Pokemon.
What?
They're not really buggy though.
So, theoretically, granted, apparently Venonet isn't even a bug. But theoretically, Misty should be freaking out about Pineco.
But like things like Butterfree and Ladybug don't freak her out.
True. But Pineco isn't, like, lovely like they are.
Yeah, but he's not really buggy.
I always thought Pineco was like this big tank.
Oh,
he's
interesting.
like this big.
And then then I see Brock just like,
Yeah, holding
I
it.
got my Pineco. Yeah, because I always see the Pokemon cards where he's just sitting in the tree and it's like must be far away because it's like this big, like a Pineco.
Alright, so, Ash and Co are still in Azalea Town, which I'm okay with. Like, I think I would love to have more episodes in the towns that they're going to the gym and, like, draw those out instead of a bunch of fillers of them in the forest.
Of them being lost in the woods.
Exactly. So anyway, Ash and Co are still in Azalea Town, and now it is time for the Bug Gym. They wonder what Ash plans to do now that Charizard can't get him out of any mistakes, because, you know, Charizard would burn the Bug Gym to the ground.
Yeah.
Because Bug are weak to fire. When they get to the gym, they wonder if it is even a gym and not a garden. Misty is nervous that a bug might jump out at any second. And Caterpie and Metapod do. So now, it's not a garden or a gym, but a torture chamber.
We should have a pointer for when Misty gets freaked out by a bug. Bugged out.
Maybe. I can see that. I'll add it in there.
It's just a thought. I say a lot of things should be pointers, and some are like, no, they shouldn't. I don't know, it just seems like a...
Something to track, especially when she's not freaked out by bugs that she should be. Then they meet Bugsy in a tree, and he claims that bug Pokemon are the best kind of Pokemon, which Misty does not agree. Before they can battle, they need to get the ladder to help him down, because he got spooked when somebody came in and knocked the ladder down. Team Rocket is spying through a window, per usual.
When he got spooked, I was like, that's idiot, because he's the leader of the gym. Obviously, trainers are going to come in to battle him.
Right?
How are you spooked? I'm just an idiot.
Anyway, Team Rocket is spying through a window, per usual, and their plan is to steal Pikachu while Ash is distracted with the match.
Whoa, they're planning to steal Pikachu?
I know. Shocking. They disguise themselves as plants, and they get swarmed by Metapod and Caterpie. The announcer sounds just like the announcer from the Flying Gym. The battle will be 3 versus 3, as the show likes to do. Bugsy starts with Spinarak, and Ash goes with Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
Cyndaquil yawns and doesn't do much at first because he is a distracted Pokemon again. But then Cyndaquil is really good at dodging again. Unfortunately, Spinarak covers the whole field with String Shot, getting Cyndaquil a little stuck. But the fire only puffs from the back and mouth with no flames. So then Ash uses Chikorita, and Chikorita hugs Ash. Was that another distracted Pokemon moment?
Chikorita hugs Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Bugsy thinks this is a bad idea because grass is weak to bug. Chikorita beats Spinarak, though. Team Rocket plans to dig under the gym and pitfall Pikachu. Then Bugsy pulls out a Metapod. The Metapod hardens a bunch and then jumps and tackles which I liked. I liked that his Metapod could tackle, because ours could too do things like that because we evolved it instead of just catching a Metapod. Because when you catch them, they just know harden.
Yep.
Chikorita is out, so Ash moves on to Pikachu. Metapod is fast, but Pikachu is too. Pikachu defeats Metapod, so Bugsy's final Pokemon is Scyther.
Nice.
Underground, Team Rocket notices Pikachu has stopped moving, and so they're gonna start digging. Then they go into a different rhythm for their motto, which I thought was really interesting. And they have an interesting motto, and it is also a modified motto with the strange beat that they have, but also the last lines of Jesse and James.
Oh, prepare for trouble. That's what they should do.
And make it double. We're grabbing Pikachu. And so then they have like the weird beat to their motto with a different ending, which Jessie says,
Team Rocket digging through to Pikachu at the speed of light.
surrender now or prepare to fight the crowds on opening night. When they come out, they are surprised and get shocked just as Pikachu uses his attack. Ha ha.
So they're shocked and then get shocked.
Yep.
They're shocked at their shock.
Scyther beats Pikachu, and so Ash has just Cyndaquil left. The little fire mouse is super good at dodging again. Then Cyndaquil's back lights up, and it starts shooting flames.
What does it mean by the little fire mouse?
Cyndaquil. It's a little fire mouse.
It's a mouse?
Well, they call it a fire mouse. It looks more, like it's kind of more like a hedgehog, I think, but...
Yeah, I definitely know Tandem Mouse is a mouse.
Sure. Well, Pikachu's the electric mouse.
So?
Just saying.
So there's a fire mouse.
Tandem Mouse, even if you don't know the name, it like has the big ears, the cute little mouse.
Yeah.
It's dark.
They don't spell mouse properly. Just
Whatever!
It doesn't work thanks to the magical sword dance defense, but then Cyndaquil gets above Scyther and blasts the fire down, and Ash wins!
Whoop, whoop.
He now has the Hive Badge, and so he's actually won both these badges and didn't just have them given to him for acts of valor and things like that.
But like in the manga, like it said, who deserves the badge? You don't have to beat the trainer to deserve the badge. You just have to show something good that you do.
Well, I like that he had to beat them.
Yeah. Yes, I do like that they continue the normal thing, but I'm like, deserve.
They were about to leave town, but they forgot to get their apricorn balls. Fortunately, the granddaughter shows up with the apricorn balls and says, hey, you forgot these. Brock takes a heavy ball, Misty a lure ball, and Ash also, I think, gets a lure ball because it's supposed...
Yeah, it is.
But he also has some other ones, too. Then we cut to Team Rocket crawling out of the hole in the gym, and bug Pokemon show up and creep them out. They never blasted off, and so this was an exciting exit. And who's that Pokemon is? Elekid!
It's like that one that looks like it's a thing that can plug into stuff, right?
Well, Elekid showed up in the manga.
Yep. And it was a big feature in the short right before the second movie. Remember? When they're all in the trees and stuff? And then the big storm?
Should be called Creeped Out. That's what the tally should be called for Misty. Going buggy.
Probably bugged out or something, just because
That would make it easier.
creeped out would be anytime she's scared by anything then. Unless we want to tally that. Whenever she's freaked out by anything, like ghosts.
Good.
Alright, well, we'll think on it. And you listeners can let us know if you have a better idea or an opinion on that. Go ahead and email us or all that stuff. Comment on the videos or the audios or whatever. So, our tally for this episode is Distracted Pokemon. Cyndaquil is tired again.
And Chikorita.
Ah, right. And we get 2 because Chikorita hugged Ash. I'll have to double check on that one.
Whatever. Isn't Chikorita in love with Ash?
Has a crush on Ash, yeah.
How does a Pokemon have a crush on a human?
I don't know. Interesting intro. We have 1 for Jesse and James's interesting intro, but then we also have a modified motto, and it's because the ending is different while also doing a whole different thing while they're saying the normal words of the rest of the motto.
Yeah.
And we have an entertaining exit. They get shocked back down in the hole, and when they come back up, they are surrounded and attacked by bug Pokemon in the gym.
So is it an exciting exit or entertaining exit?
You know what? I don't remember. It's probably entertaining exit, actually. Sorry. Because they're not always exciting, necessarily. Just entertaining.
Okay.
So, entertaining exit. And now the last thing to do is to rank it.
Dun dun.
So, Rosella.
Hmm?
Where do you think this bug gym battle belongs? Well, let's see. Is it better than going Apricorn
What's the one where they
with the Pineco?
I think it's better than that one.
Alright. Did you see the Sunflora episode?
I don't think so.
Okay. Snubble Snobbery.
What's that one again?
Where we meet Snubble, who is owned by a rich lady.
Oh, that one.
Better or worse than Snubble Snobbery?
I think it's worse.
Okay. Ruby, is it better or worse than Grin to Win?
Worse.
You think it's worse than going Apricorn, don't you?
Yep.
Alright, so it will go between Grintawin and going Apricorn. So, our current tally, now that we've watched 28 episodes, is Roll-On Pokemon at the bottom, then a bout with Sprout, For Crying Out Loud, The Superhero Secret, Flower Power, The Little Bighorn, Foul Weather Friends, The Whistle Stop, Don't Touch That Dial, A Shadow of a Drought, Going Apricorn, Getting the Bugs Out, which were 3 episodes we just did today, all grouped together. Grin to Win, Snubble Snobbery, Tanks a Lot, Chikorita's Big Upset, Fighting Flyer with Fire, Charizard's Burning Ambitions, Good Quill Hunting, and Wired for Battle are 10 and 9, which were also done this one, leaving 1 through 8 untouched, which are Once in a Blue Moon, Mild and Woolly, Ignorance is Blissey, The Chikorita Rescue, Illusion Confusion, Spinnerack Attack, Double Trouble Header, and a Sappy Ending.
The sappy ending is probably not leaving that for the rest of the season, is it?
It might. We might find some really good episode.
It's certainly holding its throne for a while.
That is for sure. Because that was what, episode 3?
Episode 3? No way.
Of this season? Yeah.
So it's been up there for 20 episodes? That's kind of...
What? We have 28 episodes.
Oh, it's been up there for 25 episodes? That's kind of crazy.
Alright, so our current tallies are Jumping Jigglypuff, 2. Babysitting, and Jumping Jigglypuff is when Jigglypuff or Snubble makes an appearance after the first Snubble episode, because Snubble became a Jiggly. Babysitting Brock, we are at 18. Interesting Intro, we are at 26.
So they've only not done an interesting intro twice.
Correct. Jesse's Beauty, or whatever we're going to call it eventually, is at 2.
But it might be more when you go through, right? Because we changed it to just...
Yeah, well, that's why it's at 2, because I changed it because we would include the one where Totodile was on her hair, I think.
Yep.
Or was that why we put it? Shoot, maybe it is only... I don't know, it's 1 or 2. I don't remember. Distracted Pokemon is 23.
So they've only been not distracted. Well, there's been multiple episodes.
Yeah, there's multiple episodes. We're off again, so they say something other than blasting. We have 9.
We had like 2 in one episode.
Yes.
We had 3 exits.
Catching Catchphrases, 5. Friendly Fire, 10. Modified Mottos, 5. Broken Bridges, 2. Togepi Trouble, 2. Recurring Rivals, 1. Entertaining Exits, 2. Because the other one was the Illusion Confusion with the hunters and everything. Busted Bots, 10. Irritating Interruptions, 3. Gotta Catch 'em All, 4. Psyduck Sightings, 1. Team Up Rocket, 2. Gotta Give 'em Up, 1. One Track Ash, 2.
Wait, what's Gotta Give 'em Up?
When they leave Pokemon places instead of catching them.
Because
the whole goal is to catch them, but they keep leaving them behind, like Pidgeot and Primeape.
Because they're too powerful, Dad. Too powerful.
Right.
It's cheating.
Alright. And that is where all that is at for now. Which means it is time to sign off. See you later, folks! Oh, wait. Just kidding. Pokemon cards!
Yay!
And as I said, I just got another Elite Trainer box. So, we are opening packs from Stellar Crown.
Ooh.
Can I look at them first?
Well, you just want this one, I'm pretty sure. But
Wait, what one is it?
it's a Terrastalized Cinderace. But go ahead and look at
Let
them.
me see.
Yeah, they're all Terrastalized with the weird turtle thing, and then there's one with the actual weird turtle thing. So. All right, Rosella, you may go first.
Okay, so I'll open like a Scarlet and Violet Cellular Crown.
Stellar Crown.
Stellar Crown. And mine's a Terrastalized Cinderace, one of my favorite Pokemon. It's the Pokemon I have in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I went with the Garvantula. Joltik Evolution.
I've got a Lapras.
Okay.
And they all have their Terrastalized Stellar Crowns.
Yep. Okay, so my first Pokemon is Fletchinder, a normal type Pokemon evolution of Fletchling. And Finayana?
Finian.
Finian.
That's what I'm going with.
Finian, a water type Pokemon. It's a basic. Tauros, a normal type. Fido, it's a psychic. Gravity Gemstone, a Pokemon tool. As long as this Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, the retreat cost is of both active Pokemon is 1 energy more. And then I have Veziluba, spiky fish. Veluza, a water type. And it kind of looks like an origami fish. And it has an ability, Food Prep. Attacks used by this Pokemon cost 1 star less for each Kofui card in your discard pile.
Alright, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. That cut Hetero!
Wait, so one's out?
There's one out there.
My phone was dying, so
Hatena.
didn't,
I don't see any
leave it on.
Hatena!
It's very little.
There you are. I see you. No, not
think
you.
my
You're
thing's frozen.
ginormous.
It's gotta load.
I got the Hatena! Okay. A Reveroom.
Ooh, Reveroom.
Metal Pokemon evolves from Varoom. And then for, I think one of my reverse hollows, Lokix. It's a grass type and evolves from Nimble. Ooh, another reverse hollow, and it's Saz.
Oh, yep.
Fire type evolves from Slandit. And Iron Boulder, a future card.
Oh, that looks cool.
It's a psychic type, and then a basic psychic energy.
Nice. Alright. Did you want to go next, Ruby?
Sure. I got my head thing. It's 2-star.
Yeah, mine must do.
Alright, my first Pokemon is a Slowpoke. Psychic type.
So perfect for this episode.
Slow.
Yep. Then I got a Froakie, water type.
Nice.
Ladybug, grass type.
What?
Ladybug. Fan Rotom.
Oh, give it to me.
Colorless. Ability Fan Call. Once during your first turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 Fan Call ability during your turn. Jirachi, Steel type. Reshiram, Fire type. Lapras.
And you opened a Lapras.
Yep, I opened the Lapras pack. Water type. My reverse hollow is Milcery, Psychic type. Oh, another reverse hollow, Clink, Steel.
Ooh, I like Clink.
Orthworm EX.
Ooh.
It's 2-star Steel type. A fancy grass energy. Look at the grass energy. It looks cool.
Well, those are cool. Alright. So then I got Turtonator, Fire type. Impidimp, Dark type.
What's Impidimp?
You should remember that from Sword and Shield.
Oh, that guy.
Drifloon, Psychic type.
Ooh, let me...
Ponyta, Fire type.
Show me. I don't have that one yet. Give it to me.
Diancie, Fighting type.
What's it like?
Ooh. Slowking, Psychic type. Evolves from Slowpoke.
Fine. You gotta be all fancy and big.
Akaberry.
What's Akka?
If the Pokemon this card is attached to is damaged by an attack from your opponent's fire Pokemon, it takes 60 less damage. And then you discard this card.
Okay.
So basically it's a one-time fire shield.
That is cool. I want to use it.
My first reverse hollow is a Crabrawler, Fighting type. My second reverse hollow is a Glass Trumpet.
What?
You can use this card only if you have any Terra Pokemon in play.
What's Terra?
Terrastalized.
Okay.
Choose up to 2 of your benched colorless Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then my rare is a fancy looking Caracosta. Evolves from Tortuga.
What's a
Primal Knowledge. Attacks used by your Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active evolution Pokemon. And then I got a Grass Energy. And then that is it. And that's our episode. So, thank you all for listening. Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield Institute production. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and some other places. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, leave comments if you like. You can also email at us with any suggestions or ideas or anything like that at Hunterfield Manor, HUNTERFIELDMANOR @gmail.com. And that's everything. So thank you so much for listening. We've been enjoying going on this journey, and next week we will talk about Ruby and I's journey through Golden, Silver, and Crystal to the 3rd gym, which also means traveling through a place called Ilex Forest. So thank you again, and we will catch you on the next route.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Bye.
Jump.
Part 20. Bubble Pummel. Now let's see how you handle. Brock tossed the Pokeball and it burst open, releasing a huge Pokemon that, at first, Violet thought might just be a stack of Geodudes. But it wasn't that at all. It was Onix! Violet's jaw dropped as the awesome creature towered over the battlefield. She figured Brock would throw out more rock Pokemon, but she had not expected to see something so huge and powerful. A small sound chirped up from the bottom of the rock snake, and Violet suddenly remembered where she was and what she was supposed to be doing.
Right, sorry.
She glanced over at her partner, who also seemed to be a little nervous to be standing in the shadow of the Onix opponent.
Mizu,
Tackle it now, Onix! The large rock Pokemon aimed its head downward and shot down toward the little horsey. It let out a high pitch as it was knocked across the arena, where it landed hard.
Mizu, are you okay?
The horsey sat up and shook off the dust, and then it narrowed its eyes hard at the Onix. It gave another cry to let Violet know it was ready. Violet nodded in return.
Alright, let's do this. Mizu, dodge Onix's attacks, and give it a barrage of bubbles.
The water Pokemon obeyed immediately, looking more determined than it ever had before. The Onix tried to tackle the horsey repeatedly, but it kept zigzagging across the arena, taking shots at Onix whenever it had lunged and missed.
Mizu is doing great.
Violet thought to herself.
Everything we've gone through together since leaving Cerulean is really showing.
Violet thought that Onix was beginning to look tired, and it seemed confirmed when Brock changed tactics. All right, Onix, screech! The rock Pokemon stopped and turned to stare right at Mizu. It opened its mouth, and an ear-splitting screaming burst forth. Violet covered her ears, wincing at the pain. The horsey stopped short and tried to curl itself into a ball to shield it from that awful noise. Now get that horsey before it can recover! Onix charged forward and hit the horsey hard, causing it to start off rolling away, and then, when it could no longer maintain its rolled-up form, the Pokemon flipped around and skidded to a halt. Mizu looked very battered.
Mizu, can you hear me?
Violet looked at her Pokemon worried. Had she pushed her Pokemon too far? How badly did the Onix hurt her horsey?
Please be okay, please be okay.
A little cry from the water Pokemon, and then it started to shift a little. Mizu was trying to get back up. Violet wanted more than anything to rush out and help. She wanted to pick it up and rush it right over to the Pokemon Center, but that would be the end of the match right there. Instead, Violet would just have to call Horsey back and hope one of her other Pokemon were able to finish off Onix.
All right, Mizu.
Twisting on the spot, Mizu glared back at its trainer, stopping the girl short, her Pokeball half raised. After what felt like a full minute, Mizu seemed satisfied that Violet was going to respect its wishes and let it stay in the fight.
Mizu is going to keep fighting?
Violet was having trouble believing what she was seeing. She also was torn on if she should let it happen. The poor horsey could get itself killed. Violet would rather lose than see that happen, but if she called it back now, Mizu might not forgive her.
Okay, you can do this.
When Brock saw the horsey march back into battle, he issued another command to his Pokemon. Onix, bide! Violet's eyes went wide. This could be it. If Mizu couldn't finish off Onix fast enough, there was no way Mizu would be able to take the next hit from Onix.
Let's do it, Mizu. Pummel him with Bubble.
Mizu charged forward and shot another stream of bubbles at the rock Pokemon, softening him up even more. The Onix watched as the horsey circled it as it got ready to strike. Another stream of bubbles hit and Onix was still upright. He shifted slightly and Violet knew this was it. Brock's champion was going to strike. It locked its eyes on its target, and there was a grating sound as the boulders shifted slightly as Onix tensed up. The match was seconds away from being over.
Mizu, one more bubble, quick!
Onix snapped, his head lunging at lightning speed toward the much smaller Horsey, and then more bubbles than ever before streamed from the little Pokemon's snout and covered the Onix and the surrounding area. There was a loud crash and dust flew up into the air everywhere, latching on to the swarm of bubbles. Nothing could be seen. Both Pokemon were completely concealed, and the last echoes of that crash started to drift away. Violet hung her head. Onix had been heading straight for Horsey, and that crashing noise could only have been made by such a large Pokemon. She had lost, and, worse yet, she may have lost her Pokemon.
Just let Mizu be alive, please.
Violet pleaded quietly to herself. The bubbles began to pop, releasing the sand trapped inside them, and slowly the veil was vanishing. Violet could see parts of Onix starting to appear, at the higher points where the dust was less thick. Then there was a sort of shuffling noise. Was Onix starting to rise again? He looked too still for that. Then Violet saw a small, sand-covered figure scooting warily out of the dust and toward her.
Mizu!
Forgetting all about the match, Violet rushed forward and scooped her Pokemon into her arms.
Oh, Mizu, you're okay.
She looked down at the exhausted Horsey and brushed some of the sand off her and noticed all the scratches and bruises.
Well, you're alive, and you will be okay. It's over now.
Well, looks like congratulations are in order. That is one tough Horsey you got there. Violet looked up and saw a really blurry person in front of her. At least, she thought it was a person. It seemed almost formless. That's when she realized that she must have been crying. She had been so happy Mizu was okay. She blinked a couple of times and ran an arm across them and was able to start making out more details. Here, you have certainly earned this. It was Brock, and he was trying to hand her something.
What?
Violet had been so focused on Mizu's well-being it was taking her a minute to understand what was going on. Then she recognized that it was a badge resting in Brock's hand.
The Boulder Badge? Why? Wait, did I win?
Well, yeah, of course you did, Brock laughed. I don't just hand these out to anyone. Violet blinked in surprise. Then she snatched up the badge and started jumping up and down, much to the discomfort of Mizu.
I won! I won!
Whoa, easy there. I think your Horsey needs to rest a minute, and in the future you might not want to push it so hard. She stopped and looked down at Horsey, who was wincing a little.
Right. Sorry, Mizu.
Violet looked up at Brock.
To you too, Brock. I'm sorry. But you see, you're wrong. I didn't win. Mizu wanted to push through. I was going to call it back, even if it meant losing. So I didn't win. We won. Me and my Pokemon.
Brock nodded seriously. I'm impressed. You show better understanding about the relationship between Pokemon and their trainers than some adults I've met. Violet smiled, but it was a sad sort of smile.
I had a good teacher.
Then, with badge pinned on and Mizu cradled in her arms, Violet left the gym, and she whispered to herself,
Thanks, Dad.
To be continued.